All right. You're going to see me eat this morning. Isn't that exciting? You get to see what people like me eat, YouTubers. This is the YouTube slaw. YouTube gives this to everybody. If you're on YouTube and you are over 25 subscribers, but under 100, this is like the poverty slaw. They only give this if you're between 25 and 100. If you're under 25, they're like, fuck you, you don't deserve any. But if you're between 25 and 100, then they'll give you this poverty slaw. And yeah. Because they want you to make more YouTube videos, but they don't like you yet. All right. So, didn't really work. A little tongue click I usually do, but we'll deal with it. A little ASMR for you this morning. Chewing. So good. Poverty stew. So, today, talking about Explorer's Code number 6. You've been following the Explorer's Code thing. The Explorer is an archetype, it's an idea, it's an abstract idea of an ideal of the part of you that wants to go out and explore. And if you haven't developed that, you might feel stagnant. You might feel like other people are having more fun than you. You're not really focusing on yourself and your life, and it's not a great feeling. So I made these videos to explore the Explorer archetype, and this is the second to last one, the penultimate. I think there's one video I said I would make in the middle of it when I was talking about freedom, and I have that written down somewhere, so there might be 2 more. That one might not be on the Explorer's Code list, though. I'll see. I also have been working on a more overarching ideal to strive for. This is more a specific ideal for a part of your life to explore, how to get more variety in your life and more pushing your comfort zone a little bit, which is a really important part of living a life that is full and passionate. But there is an overarching ideal that I'm working on that will apply to every aspect of your life and a more well-rounded archetype to have in mind. So I'm excited for that. That is not ready yet, but I'm thinking about it and developing it. Explorer's Code number 6 is I openly share my journey and my findings to inspire others. What does that mean? Well, if you're an explorer and you travel somewhere new, then you will find that other people are inspired by that if you share it. But not only is it for them, it's also for you. I've found that when I share my experiences, I solidify them in my mind. I solidify the memories. I solidify the lessons. There are so many lessons I've learned from traveling. I'm using travel as an example. I suggest everyone travels, but you could explore without traveling as well. But the lessons I've learned are things like, who am I? How do I work? Having some self-awareness, one of the things I like to say, when your surroundings are constantly changing because you're traveling, you very quickly figure out what's you and what's not you. For instance, I traveled to Israel, and there are 3 billboards I saw. Billboards for 3 things. Now, I probably saw maybe about 10, and I was there for 3 weeks, so that's not many. Local malls. When we were driving past Jerusalem or through and in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, were local malls. I also saw Coke and Pepsi billboards. Those 3 types of billboards were the only ones I saw. Coke, Pepsi, local malls. And there were barely any on the highway. Because a country like that has constant threat of violence, whether you're on their side or not, they don't have time to think about consumerism. They don't have time to think about what they're going to buy, because everybody has an obligation to go into the army, and everybody is worried about what other people will do to them. So inside the country, you have cohesion. And it helped me realize that in America, we don't really have that external pressure. We have the mightiest military on the planet, so we're not really afraid. The most recent attack, there are a couple terrorist attacks here and there. The Boston marathon bombing, September 11th, of course, and before September 11th, it was fucking Pearl Harbor in the 40s. There are almost no external threats to the U.S., so we get the conflict internally. And this really helped me realize, like, I was able to detox from all the marketing messages, because here in the U.S., there's so much marketing going on. It's just marketing this, marketing that. You don't realize how many messages you get every day just walking around outside in any city in the U.S., in most suburban places, in some rural places. You get so many messages coming into you, like, buy this, buy that, think about this soda in this way, think about that in that way, and it's fucking overwhelming. It is over-fucking-whelming. It's way too much. Something that is just, it's a lot to handle. And if you don't know any alternative, you'll just say, oh, this is normal. And you won't realize until you get out of your shell that these things they don't have to be normal. They aren't necessarily normal. These things where it's like, oh, okay, I'm used to these advertisements. Well, not necessarily. When you explore something new, you kind of have an obligation to share your experience, not just for other people's benefit, although definitely for other people's benefit, but also for your benefit, because you learn more about yourself the more you break out, because then you have something to contrast it against. If you've never been outside of your country or your state, you don't have anything to contrast it against, and you don't know as much about it. So there's that. And then secondarily, you're also inspiring them to get out of their shell. I tell this story a lot, where I have a friend who is my college roommate the first semester I was in Rutgers. And I was telling him about some of my experiences, and he was one of the guys I looked up to, and I still look up to. Very secure in himself, it seemed. And I think he is. It's just this moment, he broke down crying and was like, Joe, how do you do all these things? Like, how do you get out of your shell so much and have all these experiences? And I didn't really know what to say. I said, it was one of the experiences that propelled me to want to do this, because a lot of people have told me, like, how do you get out? How do you do all these experiences? How do you get out of your shell? How do you try new things? Now, granted, in the past couple of years, I've been more settling down. I've been enjoying just kind of having a routine. There is a plan that I have that I don't want to talk about until it's set in motion, to get a lot more enjoyment, another exciting thing in my life that I'm going to be doing at some point. I don't want to say when, I don't want to say what, I don't want to say where. One person besides me in the world knows about it, and that will change. But I really want to share how important it is that you share your experiences as you explore, whether you're exploring literally or whether you're exploring new ideas and stuff, because it inspires the fuck out of other people so that they do the same thing and they get out of their own shell, and it just spreads like wildfire. That's my experience, at least. So I hope this helped you out. If you like this channel and this Explorers Code thing, subscribe. There's a more overarching ideal that I'm working towards. I don't want to say too much about it until I have more work done on it, but it's going to be, if this is changing your life, that will change your life even more. So I suggest that you subscribe if you want to get that minute one and get notifications about it. And so it doesn't get piled in like your list of things to do. It's like, okay, I'll just notify you to watch those when they come out. But until then, I'm doing a video every day, 365 days. This is day 31. This is day 31. Be released on December 11th. So, cheers.